So we come to the end of that Christmassy, end of the year thingy that we've decided to do, which is to find the best 11 first of the Premier League and La Liga combined, then of the rest of the top leagues, European leagues, without the Premier League and without La Liga. And a lot of you were saying, why is Mbappe not there? The reason being because he was chosen as one of the forwards in a 4-4-2 formation for the under-21s, best under-21s in the world. And of course he had to be there because he's already one of the best players in the world. We'll talk more about him a little bit later on. And for those of you that have got computer games, I've got a little challenge that you could do for me if you fancied it. I'm going to read the 11 on the under-21s. In fact, that's the graphic. You can see the best 11 of the under-21s. I'll choose 5 players to talk about. But how about a competition between the best 11 of the combined Premier League and La Liga against the best under-21s plus the best 11 of the other European leagues? Who will win that competition? It has to be home and away. If you do so, send me a video of you commenting on it, or at least telling me how it all went. My favorite will be, of course, the combined La Liga and Premier League. It seems the strongest 11. But you have to say that Donnarumma on goal, AC Milan, of course, Alexander-Arnold, De Ligt, Militao and Theo Hernandez actually looks a really strong back four with a midfield of Pulisic and Sancho in the wings, but they can swap, of course, with the Young in the middle and on Ndombele, who, of course, has been so impressive for Lyon, with Mbappe up front and Rashford as well, the best Rashford, the one that we're seeing right now at the moment. You have confidence and you become the player you can be. You take that confidence away and you become a mediocre player. That happens to everybody in the world. Rashford feels now much more confident than he's felt in the last couple of years, so that's why we're starting to see a better version of him. But if I'm going to choose 5 players, the first one has to be Gianluigi Donnarumma, because everybody's saying in Italy, and these are big names that are saying so, Dinosaur and Buffon, that he's going to be the best goalkeeper in the history of Italy. And that's a lot to say. Yes, he made his debut at 16 and 242 days. It was actually Diego Lopez being an AC Milan, got an injury, and Donnarumma just got ahead of him. And Diego Lopez says that he saw straight away that he was a player, a goalkeeper that will be difficult to take out of the first 11. He's made since then 140 appearances, has earned 11 caps, which is unbelievable, and is just 19 years old. Why does he have it all? Well, technically, all the goalkeepers, more or less, at that level, have got everything you require. You may be fast, you may be strong, you may be good in the air, but generally, you are capable of doing everything. He, in my eyes, has got something else. For somebody who actually was in the first squad of AC Milan at 15, think of it when you were 15. And now think that one of the best teams in the world calls you up. Well, he had the calmness and the confidence to be there and not be out of place. Logically, physically, he looked much younger than the rest. But since then, decision-making, professionalism, and these are words from Buffon, and also the fact that he just doesn't make too many mistakes, but what he does, he recovers very quickly, suggests that he's a top goalkeeper. He, of course, has to be the best under-21 goalkeeper in the world, no doubt. Then, if you're talking about the revival of Holland, who failed so badly to qualify for the 2016 European Championships and the 2018 World Cup, the comeback of this Holland, that is in the semi-finals of the Nations League and the playoffs, it's partly down to 2 of the players that we're going to mention, and it's in everybody's mouth. Matthijs de Ligt, of course, we have mentioned him in the past. He's got the calmness to build from the back. He's got the confidence to actually drive with the ball if he needs to, but he's a very, very good defender. He's strong. He's a leader as well, and he became, at 17, the youngest player to be picked for his country since 1931. So now he's 19 and wanted by top teams like, of course, Barcelona, like, of course, Juventus, PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester United. I'm not surprised, and I think he obviously will leave this summer. It's a midfielder, it's a centre-back. The next one will be the midfielder, Frankie de Jong, but it's a centre-back that has got all the attributes to continue a very long career. It's that kind of mental strength that we saw in Donnarumma as well that the league has and deserves to be in that lineup. Frankie de Jong being the other one, and according to some media, he's agreed a 5-year contract with Barcelona. But nobody's confirming that, and in fact, this week there are meetings with Rabiot, who plays in the same position as de Jong, centre midfield. Can both of them be the holding midfielder, but prefer to be in front of the holding midfielder? And Rabiot at the moment seems more favoured to go to Barcelona, but Barcelona very, very, very clever and are telling de Jong they're still interested in him. Bayern Munich want him too, and he's at 21, even though he is, of course, a regular with Ajax, he won't be long there. He will leave this summer. He's played 40 times for Ajax across all competitions, including this season's Champions League, and already has 5 caps for the Netherlands. He is very quick in taking decisions. He's got quality in his passing. He's got a lot of ability, goal scoring as well. But I am very impressed about his reaction when he loses the ball. He's very brave and he goes forward in the way of the best, like a Sergio Busquets. So he doesn't care. He doesn't doubt a lot in that moment, and that's absolutely important. So with and without the ball, one of the top midfielders in the world already. Then we have to talk about Jadon Sancho. I know a lot has been said about Manchester City letting him go, but it became as clear as Pep Guardiola wanted him to stay. He thought he had agreed to stay on. Jadon Sancho decided that he wanted more minutes, and he, of course, got more minutes at Borussia Dortmund than he would have got at Manchester City. Is that good or is that bad? I think Pep Guardiola feels that he would have liked to develop him more. He would have given him time. But, of course, at that age, at 17, 18, 19, you need to play a lot to be able to improve. It's the time where you absorb, you make mistakes. People allow you to make mistakes. So at Borussia Dortmund, certainly, he's been given that opportunity. Not just that, he's become a top player for them, coming from the bench or starting as well. You know the type of player he is. He's tricky, he's direct. You can say he's one of the last products of street football, if you like. He always had a ball with him, and yes, of course, the academy has given him the opportunity to develop a lot of other skills, but he has that bravery to go 1v1, which is so difficult to find in modern football these days. So he will be very important for England, a very exciting England. There'll be time to talk about that, but of course, Jadon Sancho, I think he became the first player to be born in the 21st century to actually be called up by England. I do see, because of the entourage he's got as well, a father who's looking after him, on top of him as well. Jadon Sancho trying to learn a little bit German and adapt to his situation, even though he's more comfortable being home. But despite all that, you can see him enjoying his situation much more than other British players that have been abroad or that are abroad. So thumbs up for Jadon Sancho, who will keep improving and will soon become maybe one of those top players for that combined La Liga Premier League if he goes back to England, which at some point I think he may do. But right now he's enjoying his football at Borussia Dortmund. And the last one has to be Mbappe. We know all what he can do. We know that he scored more than Cristiano Ronaldo at his age, for instance. That he's the first player to score, I think, it's 40 goals in France, quicker than any other player for like 50, 60 years. Stats that are historical that he's breaking with a smile in his face. A couple of things that are worrying and that, in my eyes, makes him at this stage worse than Cristiano Ronaldo. He had the same arrogance in a way to do the things that he wanted to do, and a lot of the time didn't come off. But I saw in Cristiano Ronaldo very earlier on when Gary Neville from behind was actually shouting at him and trying to correct him with a kind of strong, masculine culture, northern English that there was at Manchester United. He overcame that. Mbappe decided to stay or to go to PSG as it was a comfort zone kind of thing to do. He wanted to be in Paris near his people, given the opportunity perhaps too early in his life to actually move on. But let's see what the next step is for him. Yes, he's confident, but I just want to see him with another top team and see if he can continue developing, because that's the second thing I want to say. He's still got lots to learn. He still takes decisions, wrong decisions far too often. It's normal. It's his age. He will learn. But the third thing I want to say is that he's got all the capabilities and all the physical possibilities to become the best player in the world. He's got the elasticity. He's got the pace. He's got the technical ability, natural ability as well, to actually score a lot of goals. Reminds a lot of us to, of course, the Brazilian Ronaldo, and let's see if he can get to that level. I insist, my only question mark is his mentality. Is he willing to continue learning? Does he feel that he's reached his full potential? Because he hasn't. I know he's very professional. I know that people around him keep pushing him, and that's a good thing. So you have to say at this age, let's see. But out of all the players that we mentioned, of course, he is the one that seems guaranteed to be successful for the next 10 years with that question mark there, because you never know. So that's about it. There are more surprises to come up for January. Of course, the transfer window has opened up, and we will be doing some special shows on that, so keep an eye on it. Subscribe and tell everybody that we're here, and let's keep talking. Let's hear from you, and if any of you plays that game that I mentioned earlier, let me know who wins it. All right.